opinion, the report isn't worth the paper it's written on and cannot be considered objective. Aberdeen police were investigating dispatchers and county employees who they work with every day.
That's like George Bush evaluating Dick Cheney. But this is even worse because there was a death case here. My wife died, and
this afternoon, I talked to the Aberdeen police detective who conducted the investigation. He told me he tried to be fair and objective. Still, Del Johnson would like to have a police agency from another state or a judge conduct an independent investigation. Beaverton police say Grays Harbor dispatchers should have at least called them and reported that confirmed sighting.
You just really feel for Mr. Johnson. You feel his pain.
And he said that, you know, he wakes up in the night or he gets up in the morning and he still reaches for his wife. I mean, after 50 years. They were high school sweethearts.
Oh, my goodness. Tom, thank you.
Tom, thank you very much. Other news now, hundreds of people rally in Salem today to call for action in 2 gay rights bills. The crowd gathered at the state capitol to push for passage of 2 bills before the Oregon State Legislature. Senate Bill 2, the Oregon Equality Act, would prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation. And House Bill 2007, the Oregon Family Fairness Act, would allow for same-sex civil unions in Oregon. Oregon's governor delivered a fiery speech at a state capitol rally supporting both those bills today. KATU's Bob High joins us live from the newsroom now with more on that rally, reaction from opponents, and how this issue may end up in front of voters. Bob?
That's right, Steve. With backing from Oregon's Democratic governor and the democratically controlled legislature, there's little doubt both laws are headed for approval, but that may not be the final word on either piece of legislation. Among signs of celebration and signs of thanks,
I have the pen ready. Bring me the bills and let me sign them.
Oregon's governor fired a new round in a monumental political battle over gay rights, especially civil unions.
It is the policy of my administration and my deep personal belief that creating civil unions for gay and lesbians is no less important than ending discrimination against gays and lesbians.
Among those in the crowd, openly gay Portland City Commissioner Sam Adams, who wants what civil unions grant. In his case, the right to split his public retirement fund with his former partner.
It definitely provides us on a state level the rights and responsibilities of marriage. It's not exactly marriage, but it's what we can do, and we need it now.
Opponents see this as an end run around Multnomah County's ill-fated attempt to issue gay marriage licenses. They also say religious exemptions in the proposed law are not worth the paper they're written on.
Churches or religious institutions could find themselves facing a lawsuit because they've decided not to hire a gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender individual for certain positions in their church.
Conservative Republicans blocked the last attempt to approve civil unions in Oregon, but a group representing gay Republicans maintains it's a conservative rights issue.
We think basic rights such as hospital visitations and inheritance are things that people should deserve to have because it's only fair. It's a basic Republican principle to say the government shouldn't tell people who they can or can't leave their property to.
Opponents say if the legislature and governor approve the civil union and anti-discrimination laws, they'll take the issue to voters. Washington's democratically controlled legislature and Democratic governor are expected to approve new laws there recognizing gay and lesbian domestic partnerships. Washington State Senate approved that bill after heated debate last Thursday. In the newsroom, Bob High, KATU News.
All right, Bob, thank you. A former executive director of a Corvallis home for troubled kids attempted to get out of jail today. He tried to convince a parole board he was fit for release after being convicted on 28 counts of sexual misconduct in 1990. KATU's Melika Johnson joins us live from Salem, where the parole hearing was held. Melika?
Well, Natalie, William Hank DeFort was actually video conferenced in from the Snake River Correctional Facility in Ontario. That is where he is housed. He did not give us authorization to videotape his image. However, he was sentenced to 48 years in prison in 1990, but he was eligible for parole this year.
After spending 16 years in prison, William Hank DeFort still says he didn't do it.
I didn't abuse those boys. I've abused many other boys throughout my life.
Via video conference, the 66-year-old told the state parole board that he had abused at least 24 boys throughout his life, but not the 6 whose testimony landed him in jail.
I don't know why they made up the stories or how they came up with them.
The former executive director of the Corvallis Children's Farm Home was convicted in 1990 of sexually abusing the 6 teenage boys between the ages of 12 and 17.
I had convinced myself that as long as I didn't hurt them, that it was okay.
Victims and their families were represented at the hearing by a victims' rights group, which read a letter from one victim's parents who called Dufort a dangerous professional predator.
And Mr. Dufort still remains in denial after the criminal sexual acts he performed while stripping his victims of their dignity.
Dufort says he committed the crimes to avoid confronting his homosexuality, believing pedophilia was not as bad. After about 15 minutes of deliberating,
we cannot feel that at this time that you are safe to be released into the community.
The parole board told Dufort he would stay locked up since he's unable to take responsibility for his crimes. The victim's spokesman called Dufort, who is highly educated, a classic sociopath.
The only way that we can protect further victims is to keep them isolated.
Dufort will be up for parole in another 2 years when he is 68 years old. Live in Salem, Melika Johnson, KATU News.
Melika, thank you very much. Also, a Portland man is suing the city over an altercation with Portland firefighters. Surveillance cameras captured the January 11th scuffle on tape. Firefighters were responding to a medical call at the Fairfield Hotel and say Terry DeGeorge was being belligerent. DeGeorge admits he was angry but claims Fire Lieutenant Robert Bedgood was out of line for kicking him repeatedly. DeGeorge wants monetary damages and Bedgood to undergo anger management training.
I don't feel I was threatening anybody as far as with a physical intimidation.
We're asking that he be trained in controlling his anger in high-stress situations and that he be kept off of public duty until he received that kind of training.
We've been unable to contact the city for comment, but city officials typically do not comment on pending litigation.
The Clark County Sheriff's Department is launching a formal review after 2 inmate suicides in less than a week. An inmate took his own life on Friday, followed by another inmate yesterday. Both suicides appear to be from hanging, and since both deaths happen within such a short period of time, the Sheriff's Department will conduct an in-depth review of jail policies and procedures.
Other news now, Portland police detectives are following up new leads in that shooting that critically wounded a store clerk. Police say people have been calling in with tips after this surveillance photo of the suspect was released yesterday. It shows the man who shot store clerk Chester Yom Sunday afternoon at the Belmont Market on Southeast 34th and Belmont. The suspect got away in an atomic orange colored Corvette like this one. If you have any helpful information in this case, please contact Portland Police.
Police in Longview arrest a couple for allegedly trying to hide meth in their children's diaper bag. Officers stopped a vehicle Monday night after noticing a passenger and 2 children in the car were not wearing safety restraints. While search of the car revealed a set of drug scales and more than 23 grams of meth, all stuffed into a diaper bag, along with the baby supplies. 20-year-old Ashley Plemons and 22-year-old Jorge Arellano are charged with meth possession and reckless endangerment. Child welfare workers have taken custody of the couple's 3-year-old girl and a baby boy.
Some traffic backups near the Steel Bridge tonight where a semi-truck took out a power pole. Police say the truck was carrying an oversized load to Tennessee when a guide car led the driver down the wrong street. The semi wound up getting stuck just east of the bridge. The driver knocked down a power pole as he tried to make his way through the tight intersection. The I-84 off-ramp to the Rose Garden and Convention Center was closed much of the day, but is now back open. And we have breaking news at a bad accident on I-5 now. This a live look now at I-5 at Fremont, where an accident has closed both lanes heading southbound. Emergency crews responding to the accident have traffic stopped while they work on the scene. We, of course, will keep an eye on the situation and keep you posted.
Other news, when you eat dinner at a restaurant, you certainly expect it to be up to code.
But Tune, your side reporter Shelley Bailey-Shaw is here to show us what happens when it is not. Shelley.
Well, Steve, this particular case was brought to our attention by a KATU viewer, and what we found out may surprise you. Terrell Figgins was eating lunch out, but couldn't help looking up at this, what looked like black mold on the ceiling at the restaurant. This restaurant, Tintin Buffet in Southeast Portland.
Well, we asked the waitress about it, and she just said, oh, it's been there, and then gave us our bill.
Last week, we went in with an undercover camera and saw the black ceiling right over the sushi buffet. So we called Michael McLucky with the Multnomah County Health Department.
It's not a situation where it's actually contaminating the food. It falls under a non-critical violation.
But the inspection didn't end there. Restaurants are evaluated twice a year and given a score on a scale of 0 to 100. Last time, Tintin got a 30. On their announced re-inspection, an 82. This time, a 43.
Most restaurants typically pass their inspections, which is usually obtaining a score of 70 or better. That is low. It's in the failed to comply category.
The list of violations: buffet food not maintained at proper temperatures, raw meat stored above cooked food and ice cream mix in the kitchen, raw meat left out to thaw at room temperature, lack of sanitizer, soap, and paper towels, soiled surfaces, and leaking pipes in the men's bathroom. The restaurant owner says since the inspection, he's fired his kitchen supervisor.
I'm planning to be here like any next 3 months, to get the employees training better.
Yesterday, Tintin passed its re-inspection with a score of 77, but these customers say they won't be back.
We come here at least 3 times a month.
So now?
No. Well,
I wish you told me before I got in here. I won't come back.
So how can you find out how your favorite restaurant scored on their inspection? Well, most county health departments, with the exception of Clackamas, post the inspection results online. For more information on that, you can go to our website at KATU.com. And you guys, you might be wondering, how does a restaurant get shut down? Well, it doesn't have to do with the score, but instead those critical violations. If they find those violations have an immediate health concern, that's when they'll step in.
And the one you showed tonight seems to be taking the right steps. They fired the supervisor, and he's going to be there keeping an eye on the situation.
He is working on it, but they have a history of problems there, so let's hope they get on top of it.
Hope so. Shelley, thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. The city of Stevenson rallying to help a family whose home is threatened by a landslide. Coming up at 5:30. The help they're giving the family and what happens to other homeowners facing the same destructive landslide.
Plus, a fiery jet crash in Indonesia. Hear what survivors experienced as the jet skidded off the end of the runway and exploded in flames.
And next, the race for a state championship. We're going to take you live to the University of Portland and the girls' state basketball tournament.
And right on cue, the rains return today. Now we have another batch I'm looking at coming in. Find out when that hits tomorrow. The forecast is coming up.
You could spend $72 on this outfit at a department store. Or you could go to Ross and get the exact same outfit, plus clothes for the rest of the happy campers, and still have a little change left over. Ross, there's no comparison.
Save on more lamps and lighting fixtures than you can possibly imagine during the Lamps Plus half-price days in sale. Going on now.
Slim down this spring with the 8-week body makeover from LA Weight Loss. You'll get everything you need to maximize your weight loss in the first 8 weeks of your total weight loss program.
I lost 29 pounds in 8 weeks. They give you everything that you need to succeed. You could lose up to 4 dress sizes and 20 pounds in just 8 weeks. I did it. Make over your body.
Get started now and you could lose up to 20 pounds or more by summer with the 8-week body makeover from LA Weight Loss. For the center nearest you, call now.
The biggest RV sale of the year is here. The Portland Metro RV Show, March 7th through 11th at the Expo Center. Take advantage of the best deals available and save on a great selection of new and pre-owned RVs. Just imagine where it might lead.
And don't forget to pick up the dry cleaning.
Someone's craving steak. The new zesty pepper steak sandwich at Subway restaurants. Tender pieces of steak seasoned with mustard and pepper spices, topped with fire-roasted onions and peppers and provolone cheese. Try it fresh, toasted, and sizzling hot.
Subway, eat fresh. Time to make a change. Change is everywhere.
Why pay over 3 times as much at a department store when you can buy the exact same outfit at Ross?
Change is everywhere.
Ross, there's no comparison.
Still working problems this afternoon. Southbound Interstate 5 at the Fremont Bridge. Just taking a live look as southbound traffic now not getting by past that wreck at the Fremont. Let's take a look at the backup. Southbound is slow all the way back to the area of Lombard. Traffic is being diverted onto 405 southbound, so you're going to find slow traffic coming off the Fremont Bridge down past Everett Street. I-5 northbound is slow north of the Terwilliger curves all the way up to the Interstate Bridge. For KATU News, I'm Brian Morris.
You're watching KATU News at 5 with Steve Dunn, Natalie Marmion, and meteorologist Rod Hill. KATU News, the spirit of the Northwest.
And another live look from Jet Ranger 2. You talk about accident problems. Look at this. You can see the cars sandwiched between those two semis. This I-5, this is in the southbound lanes there, and we can tell you it's near Fremont. And 3 cars sandwiched in the middle, another one in front, and they've shut down all the southbound lanes. And we can also tell you no serious injuries. That's what we're being told this evening, so that's certainly the good news. But what a huge, huge mess there on I-5 at Fremont. Jet Ranger 2, of course, up in the air, keeping an eye on the situation, and we'll keep watching it for you. Welcome back, everybody.
Boy, how scary. The driver, the car's there in the middle. Yeah, we'll keep you updated on that. Some of the best high school girls basketball teams in Oregon are facing off in North Portland tonight.
Are they ever? The girls' 6A state championships are getting underway at the University of Portland.
KATU's Ron Carlson live with a look at the first round of action out there. Ron?
Hey, Steve and Natalie. Actually, we have basketball action going all over the state this weekend. The 4A, 5A, 6A boys and girls state titles all going to be decided in places like the University of Oregon, Oregon State University, and as you said, here at the Child Center, where they kick things off this afternoon with Lake Oswego taking on Sheldon of Eugene. Let's show you what happened. Am I glad I didn't have a plate of spaghetti on my table when these two Lake Oswego players bumped into me today. Actually, bodies were flying all over the place in this one. Look at these two girls hustle after the loose ball right here. Lake Oswego down 8 in the third, but Allie Lomax leads a charge back. They take their first lead here in the second half on that, and then they take off from there. Margaret Johnson, the steal and the order to go. Lake Oswego moves on with a 40-32 win. Allie Lomax says she was able to concentrate on the comeback as long as she didn't look for her parents in the stands.
I try not to. They make funny faces at me. You know, got to finish that layup, but I know they're there, and so I know they're encouraging me.
In the second game now, let's show you what happened, because Southridge takes on Lincoln in that one. And I guess we don't have any tape of that, but let's tell you what happened there is that Southridge won that ball game in a big way by a score of 67-33. We're in between sessions tonight, so coming up tonight, we're going to have the the Jesuit Tualatin game, and then later on after that, it's going to be Central Catholic against Oregon City. All that coming up tonight. We'll update you later on KATU Sports. Steve and Natalie?
Okay, Ronnie, thank you very much. And at some point, we should pull out Natalie's old video from her high school basketball days.
Did you play basketball, Natalie?
The only girl on the all-boys team, so my own 5-year-old now asks me, did they ever give you the ball, Mommy?
What's the answer to that one?
No. Are you really surprised?
Well, they should have, Natalie. Rodney, how are we doing? So the rain's back?
I'm doing fine. Although then it got real sunny this afternoon. Yeah. Now it's starting to cloud up a bit. Not a bad evening, though. I think mostly dry weather being with us now for a little while, actually into the start of tomorrow. Here's Storm Alert Doppler radar showing some fizzling showers over the Coast Range first. Snow level tonight dropping, still above 4,000 feet at this hour, but eventually dropping down closer to 3,000 feet. Dry for the most part up and down I-5, and then you can see some showers here between Tillamook and Astoria. Here are some live looks from our cameras. We'll start at the coast. It was rainy, then it was sunny, now it's cloudy again, and we just showed you those showers. 50 degrees right now, 0.64. That's the rain gauge down in Newport. 54 in the city of Portland. We picked up 0.18. You can still see partly cloudy skies overhead. Again, I think it's a mostly dry evening for us. A little bit of cloudiness mixing with sun out in the gorge. 52 degrees currently for folks in the Hood River. You had just over a trace of those showers passing. So we'll call it possible showers this evening, but really it looks pretty nice. 47 degrees, the temperature at 7 p.m. Sun going down tonight at 6:05. Don't forget to spring forward Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Daylight saving time begins. Temperatures, everybody's in the lower to mid 50s right now. 54 in Vancouver and the city of Portland. Here are the other rain totals. 0.31 in Troutdale and the same down in Salem leading the way, and some other rain totals for you. Half of an inch up at Astoria, Kelso 0.28, and just traceable amounts out across the east. Temperatures at this hour, everybody's about the same. 48 in Burns, one of the cooler numbers. 47 in Astoria, also one of the cooler numbers. Okay, look at the clearing offshore, partly cloudy skies, but very clear behind that solid band of cloudiness that pulled that cold front through that's now up into the Cascades. The bigger picture, all this dry window right here, there's a low pressure system up here. These clouds will swing around the bottom of the low. They're coming toward us. These clouds are going to start coming up toward us. So the question is, when does all this, boom, make it into us? Our cloud rain forecast showing that happens late tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours. Here we are at 5 o'clock. At the earliest, I think that's when it could happen. It might be later on in the evening when rains begin. But during the day tomorrow, we'll say possible showers. I think more dry weather than not, and then we'll look for an increasing chance of evening rain developing tomorrow. Your northwest map for tomorrow, 55 up in Seattle, 52 in Astoria. The threat of some showers should be dry all areas from the Cascades eastward tomorrow, partly cloudy, Bend 54. In the city tonight, 40. Again, we're not saying no rain, but should be mostly dry the majority of the time. 48 at noon. Still a nice day tomorrow, I think, then the rain coming in later on, maybe not until we get into the evening hours. 3 days in plain view, showing rain at times on Friday. Saturday still looks wet and breezy. Now, if we're lucky, ladies and gentlemen, Sunday could be dry part of the time. And if that's the case, Sunday would actually get up into the 60s with rain holding off later in the day. That's if we're lucky and if we're good boys and girls, so that depends.
We'll be good. Thank you, Rod.
It's like Christmas time.
I know.
Other news now, a rumor has been put to rest over the plane crash that killed 3 1950s-era rock and roll stars. Yesterday, we told you how the son of late rock and roll singer P.J. Big Bopper Richardson had exhumed his father's body. Richardson died in a 1959 plane crash that also killed singers Buddy Holly and Richie Valens. Richardson's body was found some 40 yards from the plane wreckage, leading some to speculate that he somehow survived that crash and died while trying to get some help. A forensic examination revealed the Big Bopper suffered a large number of broken bones and most likely died on impact.
Very interesting. Have you seen one of these yet? Take a look. It's the new George Washington dollar coin. Well, coming up at 5:30, the minting mistake that could make that dollar coin worth a whole lot more, and what you need to look for to find out if you have one.
And next, a jet crash survivor videotapes the aftermath. What may have caused this jetliner to speed off a runway and explode in flames.
Shoe Pavilion mystery shopper here, checking out the designer brands at this very posh store. Ooh, I adore this one. This one. Ooh, but not the price. Trust me, Shoe Pavilion has the exact same shoe for way less. Oops, gotta go.
Comcast presents the deal of the year. Just $24.99 per month for 6 months for each service you choose. $24.99 for the variety and control of Comcast digital cable. $24.99 for blazing speed and McAfee security with Comcast high-speed internet. $24.99 for a real choice in home phone service, Comcast Digital Voice. There's more. Free installation on all 3 products. Save up to $200. Don't miss the deal of the year. Call 1-800-COMCAST.
Sleep Country's free event is on now. Get free sheets, free pillowcases, free pillows, and free financing with selected Simmons, Sealy, and Springer mattress sets.
Don't forget, free delivery.
Why buy a mattress anywhere else?
At Round Table Pizza, quality is everything. Like with our new prosciutto artisan with prosciutto, roasted artichokes, lemon feta, and more. Round Table, the last honest pizza.
Hey, we should go. Oh, come on. We got plenty of time. You know they're waiting for us, right? Don't quit now. We're just about to win. Whoa. We can't afford that. It's okay. We'll win it back.
Gambling can put you at odds with yourself.
Why are you always so negative?
Set a time limit and stick to a budget. Don't let the game play you.
Guys love going out for buffalo wings. That is, when they're with the guys.
What?
The Buffalo Chicken Sandwich, new at Carl's Jr.
Bargain time.
These fun casuals sell elsewhere for $39.99. Shoe Pavilion's regular price is only $29.99. But right now, they're on sale for just $19.99. Shoe Pavilion. Why pay more?
This segment of K2 News brought to you in part by 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner.
Welcome back. In Indonesia tonight, they're still trying to figure out what caused a jetliner to overshoot the runway, killing at least 21 people. Miraculously, more than 115 people survived the crash landing in a rice field. Many escaped just as the plane burst into flames.
Oh my God,
The Boeing 737 burst into flames within seconds of landing. Witnesses say Garuda Airlines Flight 200 overshot the runway and stopped only after it hit a fence. This remarkable video was taken by a news cameraman who was on board moments after he scrambled out of that wreckage. Now, as you can see, many of the 140 people on board walked away unscathed as passengers and crew, looking shocked and dazed, helped carry the injured away from the burning plane.
I think the plane started when we hit the ground for the first time. So when we stopped, it's not really, it wasn't a long time. So it's very quick, like a bomb, and then we move forward a bit and then stop, and then the fire is outside, and we already smell the smoke.
Many of those on board were Indonesians. The injured were rushed to local hospitals for treatment as families and friends searched for their loved ones. Garuda airline officials say caring for those who survived and for those who were left behind is the top priority. But many questions remain. Indonesia's president has ordered an investigation, appointing the country's security minister to head that probe. Also, yesterday's crash is Indonesia's third accident involving commercial airliner just this year. On New Year's Day, 102 people died, including a father from Bend and his 2 daughters when their jet crashed into the sea.
We are following some breaking news on I-5 near the Fremont Bridge tonight. Take a look, a live picture from Jet Ranger 2. Coming up next, the latest on this nasty-looking accident and what it's taken to free a driver trapped in that wreckage. Plus,
Mother Nature can be very fickle. Any place that she feels like.
A woman keeps watch over her backyard as it slides farther from her house. Coming up, why she says this landslide won't scare her away.
also, the city of Portland's new plan to cut the amount of fuel it uses in half. How it plans to do it.
And do you have one? What some of those new dollar coins are missing that could make their price value absolutely skyrocket.
Everyone wants to protect their children from sex offenders. This community says it's found the way.
We're not playing God. We're just providing a safer environment.
And the houses are selling like hotcakes. What's the secret, and is it working? Tonight, see why more and more Americans are watching World News with Charles Gibson.
We use Stanley Steamer because they make sure that more than just our carpet and upholstery are clean, they make sure their employees are too. With Stanley Steamer, I know who's coming into my home. All of their employees are drug tested and background checked. I want someone I can trust, and that is Stanley Steamer.
Call today about our 119 special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gives carpet cleaner.
Want to save some money this year? Ask a financial planner how.
Insulate.
Carpooling, anyone?
Credit card interest. Ouch.
Where else can you cut expenses?
Your cable bill.
Add up what you're paying for internet, cable TV, and phone.
Compare it with Quest.
You'll be wowed.
Wow.
Call 1-866-4BEST-FOR-YOU and get Quest high-speed internet, direct TV service, and digital voice, all for less than $98 a month. Smart choices. That's our spirit of service. KidFest, the Northwest's largest family expo. Coming to the Oregon Convention Center, you'll find Baby Fest loaded with ideas for baby. Camp Fest to line up your kids' summer fun. Dance and fitness demos, educational opportunities, the Game Crazy Video Game Challenge, and more. Join Radio Disney for entertainment, games, and prizes. Plus, compete in the jump rope contest to win a trip to meet Corbin Bleu from the hit movie Jump In. Come early. The first 500 families receive prizes from Oaks Park, Bullwinkles, and Hollywood Video.
Imagine how beautiful your home would look with ceramic floors. Then call Empire today. We'll bring quality brand name samples to your home. Rich earth tones and colors to match every decor. And we'll install your ceramic floors next day. Best of all, you'll save with warehouse direct prices, plus no payments till April 2008. You'll love the beauty, durability, and easy care qualities of ceramic floors. Call Empire today.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
Put the power of KATU.com to work for you. Sell your car, sell your computer, even sell your own home. Sell it on the Northwest's most advanced television website. Go to KATU.com, click on the classifieds link, and start your sale today.
Welcome back. We start with breaking news We've been following for you on I-5 tonight. An accident has shut down I-5 south at the Fremont Bridge exit in Portland. From Jet Ranger 2, you can see two big rigs, two cars, and an SUV involved in the crash. Police say a car got smashed between those two semis. Emergency crews used a device to get one person out, but they walked away with no injuries. Both lanes southbound are closed, and our pilot in Jet Ranger 2 reports traffic is backed up all the way to Portland International Raceway. No traffic getting by while these emergency crews work the scene tonight. Traffic north also moving slowly as vehicles try to pass the scene. We'll keep you updated on progress to reopen the road. I-5, Fremont Bridge exit in Portland, all shut down southbound.
One semi is pulled away now, but to believe no one was seriously injured, how they were wedged in there.
Yeah, fortunately, they got the guy out, but walked away, they tell us.
That's incredible. We have other news right now. A family in Stevenson, Washington that's been watching their land slide away is finally getting some relief.
Dozens of contractors are coming together to build that family a whole new home tonight. The Lacombe family first ran into trouble more than a year ago. Part of their land slid away into Rock Creek. The family moved its home back 150 feet, but last month the slide got worse and the family had to evacuate. Since then, CAM Development Company has been working to build the Lacombes a new home, and they're still looking for a place to build it on.
We gave them a call and said, do you want a new house if we can do it?
And they said?
They said, okay. So it's been great.
We were looking at really bad place to be in our lives, and it's not looking so bad anymore. It's looking fantastic, and it's really helped us through a very, very trying time.
CAM says about 50 contractors have donated its services. The builder needs about $100,000 to buy a lot. They hope to break ground soon and have the Lacombes in a new home by the end of June.
The Lacombe family not the only ones watching its landslide into Rock Creek. One of their neighbors is fearing the worst as well, but she is handling it differently. KATU's Nick Winkler is live in Stevenson. And Nick, this neighbor says part of her backyard is sliding away.
And Natalie, this lady lives up here in this area. She says her backyard began sliding away about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and now she's concerned it could slide all the way down this cliff and into the creek.
I'm just hoping it isn't going to go anymore.
That's a nervous laugh Laura Foster uses to talk about the crack in her backyard.
Like just a big hunk of it is like just kind of sunk.
Foster does not need binoculars like some come here to peek through. She lived next door to Bill Lacombe and his family. They had to leave their home even after moving it 150 feet away from a cliff. Lacombe's land kept sliding, and now part of their drive is gone. Their empty home just feet from the cliff.
I was hoping and praying that we were the only ones affected by this, and it really saddened me to see that crack continued on by her house. She just doesn't need it.
The county has dredged Rock Creek to make room for more slide, but if the creek were to dam and then burst, the county says it could knock out this bridge, utility poles and houses downstream, and take Foster's backyard.
I'm trying to be as optimistic as I can about it.
But cautious. This is the window Foster looks out every day to check. She says the crack 20 feet from her home has not gotten any worse. If she can make it to summer, she says her 4 sons will move the home.
My son said he can get under there and weld 4 steel beams going that way, and then when everything is all unhooked, they can just pull it.
Until then, her laugh will stay nervous, hoping Mother Nature starts acting more motherly.
Maybe she'll figure this is enough.
There are sensors placed along this creek that will immediately tell county officials if the water out here stops flowing through here and dams up. At that point, county officials will immediately call 7 families downstream and tell them to evacuate just in case that dam would burst. In Skamania County, Nick Winkler, KATU News.
Nick, thank you very much. Updating our other top stories. Now, hundreds of people rallied in Salem today in support of 2 gay rights bills before the state legislature. The bills would prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation and allow same-sex civil unions in Oregon. Governor Kulongoski spoke at that rally in support, and the democratically controlled legislature is expected to approve both of those bills. Opponents say if the legislature and the governor approve the civil union and anti-discrimination laws, they'll take the issue to the voters.
A convicted sex offender who is trying to get out of prison will remain behind bars. William Henry DeFort is currently serving 48 years for abusing 6 teenage boys. Today, the state parole board told DeFort he would stay locked up since he still cannot admit his crimes. He will be eligible for parole again in 2 years. Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue crews fighting flames at an Aloha home this morning find an apparent marijuana growing operation. The Washington County Sheriff's Department says the renter of the home on Southwest 205th Place was growing about 100 plants in the attic and says that's where the fire may have started. No one was at the home, but a pit bull in the yard was turned over to animal control.
We should soon learn more about what caused a North Portland church to go up in flames. Fire investigators are wrapping up their investigation on the fire that destroyed Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church last month. They'll meet tomorrow with church leaders before making their findings public. Arson investigators have spent about 500 hours sifting through the rubble at that site.
Portland City Council is attempting to create ambitious new standards for reducing its reliance on oil. Commissioners today passed a resolution that would require cutting oil and natural gas consumption in half by the year 2030. The resolution requires city bureaus begin developing strategies to meet the goal. Recommendations from a city task force on how to reduce oil consumption include creating more walkable communities, promoting bike traffic, and following so-called green building strategies for urban growth.
Expect some more traffic hiccups in downtown Portland. Today, the city shut down Southwest Market Street from 11th to 12th Avenues. The closure will last until next Monday. It's part of an $8 million project to repair and improve some of the city's old water mains. The entire project should be completed by this summer.
The U.S. Mint admitted to a big goof-up today, one that has the coin-collecting world and eBay buzzing.
Are they ever? KATU's Dan Tilkin joins us now with the mess that created the new so-called godless dollar. Dan?
Here they are, thousands of these new George Washington dollars.
Whatever you do.
See? Yeah. Can't trust her?
Oh, absolutely.
You can see them. These ones are okay, but thousands of them are missing a key motto that they're supposed to have, and internet conspiracy theories have already begun claiming the motto was purposely left out.
You ever seen them before?
I haven't.
300 million made.
Hey!
Golden in color.
Doesn't feel heavy enough.
And slightly larger and thicker than a quarter.
They look like they're not even real.
Different.
And it doesn't say "In God We Trust" on it. Or maybe it... Oh, tricky.
First time I've ever seen a coin printed on the side.
"In God We Trust" was supposed to be printed on the edges of all the new George Washington coins, but thousands slipped by without the famous motto. Well, now the slip-up is being turned into profit. Check out eBay and look at the edges of the coins. They're blank. Some are already going for hundreds of dollars, and it's not just the motto "In God We Trust" that's missing. E pluribus unum and the year and mint mark, too.
It's very exciting to take one of these rolls, look through it, and find the error.
Kenny Vilken of Blue Moon Coins in Vancouver is one of the largest eBay coin dealers in the world. He often deals in coins far more valuable, like this 1922 penny worth nearly $6,000. But he says newer coins are all the rage among collectors. Knowing the true value of the godless coins will take time.
Maybe they'll go down, maybe they'll go up. That's for the collector market to decide.
But if you want in,
Can you see that?
you have to find them first.
Now, one professional coin grading service estimates that 50,000 godless George Washington coins were made. The Mint says it's looking at its manufacturing process for the cause of this mistake.
It's a really pretty coin, the correct one. Are we likely to see him around here soon?
Well, the Mint says that most of these mistakes were made at their Philadelphia Mint, so 3,000 miles away. It's going to take a while for those coins to trickle out our way, and I want those back.
Well, you gave me 3 of them, right? Oh,
Steve?
4? Okay.
I told you, watch her.
I am.
Dan, thank you very much. A Tiger family loses their home after a fire rips through their building. Coming up on KATU News at 6:30, what they think may have sparked that fire.
Plus, a Georgia man wins the Mega Millions jackpot, how much he spent to get that lucky ticket, and what he plans to do now that he's won.
And NASA fires the astronaut charged with attempted kidnapping, but it turns out Lisa Nowak isn't without a job. Who she'll be working for, coming up next.
KATU.com, now with new features and new options, more video and more content. From traffic conditions to video forecast, top stories to breaking news, KATU.com has it all and in real time. Get personalized storm alert forecasts for your neighborhood. Watch K2 Newscast live with streaming video. Sign up for K2 News Alerts and get the news you want to see. And if you missed the big story, see it on KATU.com whenever you want. Click on KATU.com.
Have you had traumatic dental experiences or difficulty getting numb? Sleep Dentistry of Portland is unique. It's one of the few family practices in the Portland area offering intravenous deep sedation as well as lighter oral sedation. You will be completely relaxed and usually have no memory of your procedure. Call Sleep Dentistry today and sleep through your next dental visit.
Find out more about Sleep Dentistry. Go to the yellow box at KATU.com and type in sleep.
Save on more lamps and lighting fixtures than you can possibly imagine during the Lamps Plus half-price days and sale. Going on now.
Tired of paying too much for your glasses? The Binion's half-off sale is so big, it's been held over. Get half off all frames and lenses. And most glasses are ready in about an hour. Get half off a complete pair of glasses during the half-off sale held over at Binion's. Why pay more?
Cheap wiper blades. Are your blades driving you crazy? Introducing Innovision wiper blades from Trico. Traditional blades are straight. Innovision blades are designed for today's highly curved windshields with constant, even pressure for a smoother wipe in any weather. Get Innovision. New curved wipers are flat out better.
Innovision Pile 2.
It's Wick's best spring sailing clearance, and everything's on sale store-wide with savings up to 50% off. Buy this two-piece sofa and love seat for $9.98 and get the chair free. Save $7.81. Plus, pay nothing till 2008 and 4 days only. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, get free delivery. And we're even open Saturday till midnight. Bringing your vision to life has never been more affordable during Wick's best spring sailing clearance.
Bringing you another live picture from Jet Ranger 2, keeping you updated on the situation. This is I-5 southbound, right at the Fremont Bridge exit here in Portland. Two semis have been involved in this accident. You can see as they're starting to get it cleared up as one of the cars is there on a flatbed tow truck. I can tell you that up to even 20 minutes ago, there were at least 3 cars wedged in between and in front of 2 semi-trucks. You see there, one on the right-hand side of your screen, the other one there in the middle, as they've pulled those semis apart, and they are clearing the cars out of there. No serious injuries have been reported to us. But again, in this area of I-5 southbound at the Fremont Bridge area, it is closed. The freeway is closed right there, and you can see that northbound traffic on I-5 crawling along slowly as people slow to look at it.
We do have some other news to tell you about now. The astronaut who got caught up in that love triangle and is accused of trying to kidnap another woman is fired from NASA. That tops our look across America tonight. Lisa Nowak, who's a Navy captain, will now report back to the Navy and not to NASA. The 43-year-old was arrested last month after she allegedly drove 900 miles from Houston to Orlando to confront a woman who was in a relationship with a shuttle pilot Nowak had also been seeing. Nowak faces attempted kidnapping, battery, and burglary charges.
Federal agents in New Jersey make an $11 million drug bust. It included 75 pounds of crystal meth, as you see here, and more than 400 pounds of cocaine. Authorities arrested 4 suspects they say drove the drugs from Mexico to New Jersey. One of the suspects is a state director of youth rehabilitation in Arizona.
The entire military medical system is now under scrutiny after problems surfaced at Walter Reed Military Hospital. A bipartisan panel is looking into the military and veterans hospitals across the country. Today, the panel heard from the Navy's Surgeon General. He told lawmakers the military medical system isn't able to provide top-notch health care to wounded soldiers because of cuts in staff.
Still ahead on K2 News, he became an instant millionaire. What this Georgia man says he's going to do now that he's won the record Mega Millions jackpot.
Here's Rodney.
Well, that's our money he has. Hey, coming up, we have some more showers developing. We'll take a look at those. And I have a fairly sizable dry spell to tell you about. Find out when I'm referring. That's coming up.
On K2 News this morning,
count on getting your forecast first.
You need to plan your day, get to work, or send the kids off to school.
That's why we give you the forecast first after every commercial break.
So every weekday morning,
count on your forecast first.
Financial choice is important to all Americans, and for many here in Oregon, access to credit using their vehicle is a vital choice, one they can't afford to lose.
I came into Northwest Title Loans because I was out of insulin, and I had absolutely no money to get it until about 3 weeks. I knew I needed to get the insulin, but I didn't know whether I was going to make it to the drugstore to get it.
When asked about legislative action to take away title loans as a financial option, this is what our customers had to say.
If Northwest Title Loans were eliminated, if I had an emergency, whether it be medicine or my precious little pet, I would die or they would die.
Oregon legislators, when your constituents call to talk to you about title loans, please listen to them to learn more about this issue and how important this service is to the people of Oregon and their families.
And for the last time, our minutes don't expire. Whose minutes are these?
Ma, it's March. Those minutes are from September.
We have singular. They still work.
Yeah, but they're from September.
They're rollover minutes. They're exactly the same. You know, there's some people who don't have any leftover minutes at all. You keep that in mind, mister.
Not all family plans are the same. Only Singular's Family Talk has rollover. It's the fairest deal in wireless. Get a new broadband razor for $49.99. Singular is now the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Sleep Country's free event is on now.
Free? I'd like to see that.
You got it. Get Sleep Country's free in-home trial, free low price guarantee, and get free sheets, free pillowcases, free pillows, and free financing with selected Simmons, Sealy, and Spring Air mattress sets.
Don't forget free delivery, free setup, and free removal of your old mattress.
Hey, lights green. Sleep Country's free event is on now.
Why buy a mattress anywhere else? This segment of KATU News brought to you in part by Lace Auto Collision Center.
Another update for you on our big traffic mess on I-5. This is I-5 southbound Fremont Bridge exit in Portland, an absolute mess. This is just a little bit earlier. You can see a couple of semis and a few cars wedged in between. What an absolute mess. All the southbound lanes are shut down. One person was pulled out of one of those cars and apparently walked away, so no serious injuries. Now I want to give you a live shot if we can take a look at this now, because things clearing up substantially. They're moving the cars out of there, getting those semis separated. But still, you can see southbound lanes still shut down because they do have a lot of work to do down there. But this is going to be a mess for quite some time. But if you saw those earlier pictures, you can see it's very, very fortunate that nobody was hurt. I-5 southbound at the Fremont Bridge exit.
Millions of us, it seems, especially Rod Hill, are still coming to terms tonight with the fact we did not win the record Mega Millions lottery jackpot. But we are getting tonight a look at someone who did. A Georgia man came forward this afternoon to claim his prize. Didn't take him long, did it? As ABC's Rob Simmelcare reports, there's still another winner in New Jersey out there.
52-year-old Eddie Neighbors, a truck driver from Rocky Face, Georgia, came forward Wednesday afternoon to claim his record Mega Millions prize. On Tuesday morning, Neighbors stopped into this market in Dalton, Georgia, and bought $10 worth of tickets using the quick pick option. When he realized he had the match, driving was the last thing on his mind.
Just sat there and looked at both the paper and the ticket, you know, and I sat there, I know, for probably 15 or 20 minutes, and the computer in the truck beeped, and I think it was my dispatcher wanting to know why I was sitting still so long.
What'd you tell him?
I never did get back to him.
Neighbors' $10 investment will net him a lump sum payment of over $80 million after taxes, but his immediate plans seem pretty modest.
I'm going to do a lot of fishing, a lot of it.
Eddie Neighbors is one of two winners of the record $390 million jackpot. The other winning ticket was bought in Cape May County, New Jersey. Officials there are still waiting for the winner to come forward.
The winner has a year to claim the ticket. The ticket is valid for a year in New Jersey. However, this large amount of money, I'm sure we'll be hearing from them shortly.
Ticket sales were so brisk on Tuesday that Mega Millions raised the jackpot today from $365 million to $390 million. That makes it the largest jackpot ever in North America. Rob Simmelcare, ABC News, New York.
So you may still want to double check your numbers in case you won something. The winning numbers are 16, 22, 29, 39, 42, and 20. Again, the mega ball was 20 there, so 16, 22, 29, 39, and 42.
You know, I've often said, every time we do this, I say, well, it's probably one of my relatives or something. I think I'm a little closer now, because that guy's last name, Neighbors.
He's finally one of your neighbors.
I have some.
They wouldn't claim you, but you have some.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Do you have numbers similar to this in our forecast?
It is time for weather.
Please take it away.
We have some showers out there threatening part of our area again coming in from the west. Here they are in storm alert Doppler radar. We've had a lot of sunshine, but radar is showing you that, you know, don't be surprised if you catch a raindrop tonight. These showers moving to the east now just outside of Yamhill and Cornelius as they're pushing into Washington County. So, again, I still think much of the evening will be dry, but the threat of showers continues. A couple things I want to point out. Number one, as we go back to the weather maps, I believe that for the most part, it will be mostly dry for the next 24 hours. Now, still a threat of showers, but I'm trying to tell you, not much rain around tonight, not much rain around tomorrow during the day. The next big likely push of rain, like we had this morning, will come in tomorrow evening into Friday morning. And what about your weekend? Saturday still looks breezy and downright wet at times, 55, and then occasional rain on Sunday. Saturday looking to be the wetter day of the two. Okay, still some breaks, partly cloudy skies overhead looking south from our Smith Tower camera, 54 degrees there. Your evening outlook, threat of showers, but most of the time will be dry, 47 at 7, 44 at 10 p.m. Temperatures comfortably in the 50s. So we've lost the 60-degree weather, but still it's pretty nice. It was 63 out in Ontario today, 55 the official high here in Portland, and up in Washington, 55 in Vancouver, and also 55 degrees in Kelso. Okay, the big map, I'm looking in between these red lines for that mainly dry stretch of weather that I was referring to. All of this down here, a warm push of air and a little weather system to the north, tracking into us, looks like late tomorrow, and then bringing in that likely rain tomorrow overnight. Lower 50s along the coast tomorrow. There will be some scattered showers around, but really not a bad day. Winds will be, you know, fairly light, just gentle breezes. 53 in Salem and Vancouver tomorrow, 50 degrees up in Longview. Not much to speak of up in the mountains, mainly some snow flurries. Snow level at 3,500 feet, Government Camp 35 degrees. It will be dry tomorrow and partly cloudy to even mostly sunny, all areas east of the Cascades. Upper 40s to 50 degrees in central Oregon and farther east, Baker City 49. Lows here generally below freezing, burns down to 25 tonight. Pilton 54, Hermiston about the same. West winds in the gorge. The Dalles, your temperature tomorrow in the lower 50s, Hood River about 52 degrees. The forecast for the Rose City, 40 tonight, a few showers out there, but really not much rain around. And then tomorrow's high temperature, 53. I would say my confidence on tomorrow's forecast is actually pretty shaky, but but what makes the most sense to me is that we really don't see much rain until after dark tomorrow, and then we get rain tomorrow overnight. So we'll see how that works out. Again, as you look at the 10-day trend, Saturday, the wetter of the 2 days this weekend. And then we just keep on going, occasional showers next week. There are some indicators that next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday could be colder than I'm showing here, which would be highs only in the 40s and snow levels down to about 2,000 feet. Not sure about that yet, but just to give you a heads up, I am watching the consistency on the information I look at to see if I change the forecast.
Well, his confidence shaky. How does that make us feel? Huh?
Exactly. Thanks, Rod.
Thank you, Rodney.
There are so many diets out there, but which ones work the best?
A new study rates some of the most popular diets. Which one came out on top?
Tomorrow on AM Northwest.
She ran 26 miles in sub-zero temperatures. Meet the local woman who's the first to run marathons on all 7 continents. And a closet gets its clutter conquered.
Watch tomorrow at 9.
You've never seen anything like this. It's the Buy One, Get One event at Car Chevy World. That's right, for a limited time, when you buy any new Tahoe, Suburban, Avalanche, or Crew Cab Silverado, you can get a prepaid lease on a second vehicle at no additional charge. Choose from a new Aveo, Cobalt, Malibu, Impala, or Colorado pickup. If you haven't been to Car Chevy World lately, now's the time. It's the Buy One, Get One event, only for a limited time and only at Car Chevy World in Beaverton, where salaried salespeople see it your way.
Oh, the boat show. It's the Portland Dealers Boat Show, March 16th through the 18th at the Expo Center. With over 4 acres of new and used boats to choose from, it's all right here, including Focus on Fishing seminars, the Discover Boating Center, and don't miss Twiggy, the water skiing squirrel. Admission is free on Friday, and it's 2 for the price of 1 on Sunday for seniors. That's the Portland Dealers Boat Show, March 16th through the 18th at the Expo Center. The boat show's back in town.
Comcast presents the deal of the year. Just $24.99 per month for 6 months for each service you choose. $24.99 for the variety and control of Comcast digital cable. $24.99 for blazing speed and McAfee security with Comcast high-speed internet. $24.99 for a real choice in home phone service, Comcast Digital Voice. There's more. Free installation on all 3 products. Save up to $200. Don't miss the deal of the year. Call 1-800-COMCAST.
The hair color you were born with? Turns out it was only a suggestion. Now, through the miracle of modern science, you can defy the genetic code your parents gave you. Why settle for being a blonde, brunette, or redhead when you can be sparkling sherry, cinnamon, or apricot glaze? Keep that salt from moving in on your pepper, or create your own unique combinations. At Perfect Look, you're only limited by the visible spectrum of electromagnetic waves. Perfect Look. Be good to your hair.
Tonight, one survivor's actions will have consequences no one can see coming.
No override achieved. For mainland communication, enter 38.
What have you done, John? An all-new episode of Lost, tonight at 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
To your health, if you want to lose weight, maybe listen up to this. A new study published today tries to answer the question, which diet works best and which one will help you shed the most pounds. KATU's Deborah Knapp has results which are surprising and maybe controversial. Deborah?
Natalie, the study rated several of the most popular diets, and a high-fat, high-protein Atkins diet came out the winner. Diets from low carb to high carb and put Atkins on top, not just for weight loss, but also for health improvements. But the medical community is already criticizing the study. Researchers tracked 311 women over the course of a year. Average age was 40, average weight 190. The women on Atkins lost 10 pounds on average compared to 6 pounds for the Learn diet, 5 for Ornish, and 3.5 for Zone. The Atkins diet avoids carbohydrates and embraces foods high in protein and fat. The Zone diet limits calories, dividing foods into 3 zones: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Ornish puts strict limits on fat in favor of grains, veggies, and fruits, but experts say losing weight isn't the ultimate goal. You can lose weight eating anything from hot dogs to candy bars. What we need to do is be healthy. Perhaps the study's most surprising result is Atkins dieters also experience the biggest drop in blood pressure. Still, nutritionists worry about the long-term consequences.
The Atkins diet is very high in a bad fat called saturated fat. It increases your risk for heart disease, diabetes, cancer, so it's not a good fat to eat a lot of.
Some critics of this study say it wasn't a fair competition because few women at the end of the study were following any diets at all. Back to you guys.
Deborah, thank you very much. Before we go, another look at the situation we've been following throughout this newscast. A couple of semi-trucks earlier had some cars wedged in between them. Firefighters got in there and pulled somebody out of one of the cars. They walked away just fine, no serious injuries. But we can tell you the big problem now is obviously the huge backup. And here we are looking at 5 minutes to 6 this evening, and absolutely nobody's going anywhere southbound I-5 as we pull out. We see still a lot of things to clean up there. So if you're waiting for somebody coming home, that direction is going to be a bit of a backup. But of course, Jet Ranger 2 in the air, and we will keep you